what's up? It's Jason Lucchese and welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am so excited that you are here with us today. I've got some very exciting news that I'm going to be sharing with you at the very end, so you definitely want to stay tuned. We're going to be covering 3 different deal strategies that you can do from a JV partnering standpoint, so you don't want to miss out on those fun things that we're going to be sharing with you today. I hope that you've enjoyed the last 3 videos that we've been sharing with you. Tons of nuggets have been dropped. We did some live video calls. We went out to some homeowners' house. You got to see some options that we gave to some of the homeowners out there, and they accepted those offers. So hopefully you're able to duplicate those within your business. If you need any help with any of that type of stuff, I'm always willing to help and answer your questions for you. All you need to do is just drop a comment below, and I'll be more than happy to do that. But other than that, let's go ahead and jump into today's video and talk about these different strategies you can use for doing JV deals. So let's do it. All right, so if you don't have any of your own cash, you don't have a ton of experience, maybe you don't have a buyer's list, but you are finding deals, or vice versa. Maybe you have a buyer's list, but you're not able to find deals right now. The 3 strategies that we're going to show you in today's video are going to be able to work regardless of if you have cash, experience, credit, any of that type of stuff that could be potentially holding you back right now. So let me hop into our first one that we're going to talk about today, and make sure you stay on until the very end. We've got some exciting news that I'm going to be sharing with you at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for all 3 of these strategies, and then at the end, I'm going to go ahead and share with you the exciting news. So let's hop in here. All right, so this is joint venture with another wholesaler. This is where you're going to be able to structure deals to where you could do them in a 50-50 manner, meaning if you bring in a net profit of $10,000, you receive $5,000, the other individual receives $5,000. So how this happens is you're going to bring in a property. So this is a deal that you found, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter with this. So say for instance, a wholesaler brings a seller and you bring the cash buyer, same thing, it's going to work out as a 50-50 in a profit split. So a wholesaler brings the buyer in this particular scenario of this joint venture, and you have a deal already negotiated. That's the big thing here. This is how you're going to be able to get the 50-50 already negotiated. Same thing if the wheels were turned and it was different and you had to negotiate with your buyer to get the maximum allowable price taken care of, that's exactly what you would do. And purchase and sales agreement is going to be in place between you and the owner of record. This is not going to take place with your buyer. We're going to talk about that here in just a second, and it's important that you have the purchase and sales agreement in place. If you would like our purchase and sales agreement, I'll have no problem sharing that with you. All you need to do is drop a comment below saying, hey, Jason, I would love to have your purchase and sales agreement. Everybody likes it. It's a 2-page agreement, and it's very easy for your sellers to read and understand. And if they want to take it to their attorney, it's very simple for the attorney to take a look at and know it's a very great document, and we're not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. It's 2 pages, and it's a document that just lays everything out there for them. They don't need to go through 8, 9, 10 pages. Next part is the assignment of contract is going to be signed between you and the ultimate end buyer. Now, how do you do this without your wholesaler being like, hey, you're going to be cutting me out of the deal? Trust me, we've got everything completely laid out here for you so that your wholesaler knows that you guys are going to get paid. The best thing that you can do here is always making sure from a transparency standpoint and communication is completely open so that your wholesaler knows with complete confidence that you want to do more than just this one deal with them. That's where the joint venture agreement is filled out between you and the other wholesaler, and you're talking about the exact property, you're talking about the splits that you're going to be doing. Typically on a layout like this, it's going to be 50-50. If somebody does more than the other, sometimes it could be split up 55-45 or 60-40. It just depends on what you guys both come to an agreement on. You, meaning us, we go ahead as the investor, as the initial wholesaler with that individual, we give all of the contracts to the title company. So that's going to be purchase and sales agreement, our assignment of contract, and the joint venture agreement. We're just going to go ahead and lay out and let the title company know, hey, the assignment fee that we have negotiated on this, it's going to be $5,000 to this person, $5,000 to this person. And that's just how it's structured so that each individual can get taken care of on that closing settlement statement. And then both you and the wholesaler get paid at closing. You could have the title company send a wire if you want to, or if you want to actually pick up a check, you can. But nowadays, I just like having the wires because it goes right into the bank account, and most of the time it's available that same day. Sometimes with checks, you go pick them up and you have to go ahead and deposit them. Sometimes there's a 1 to 2 day hold on that, and you don't like to have that. Just go ahead, do the wire. It's always easiest for me, unless it's your first deal and you're full of adrenaline and you're so excited. Go pick that check up, have fun, take a picture of it, post it on Facebook. And definitely, if these strategies work from this particular video, definitely let us know how things are going for you, because we love hearing your wins. So go ahead, share it, let us know that things are working well for you. We just had somebody not too long ago say our lease option video helped them secure a deal. We love hearing things like that. That's why we do this YouTube channel, is we want to be able to help out other individuals in the business. Now, from this particular deal strategy with doing joint venturing, this is something that is very common. That's why I wanted to talk about it first. But we have two other ones that if you're really brand new, you don't want to talk on the phone. The second strategy that we're going to be talking about here is getting a referral fee, and we'll talk about the different ways that you could structure that. And then the third strategy that we're going to be talking about here is how you could do some sort of rev share, and that's going to be a real big one, especially if you want to get the most amount of money out of your deals, even if you don't have any of that money yourself. So let's hop in here. Let's continue talking about the strategies that we're going to be implementing from doing joint venture deals. So this is collecting referral fee. Most people, they may feel better doing this because they don't have the necessary experience to do everything that somebody that's been doing this for a few months longer than them does. So this is how you would do a deal that's a 90-10 deal. And right off the bat, you might be saying, oh my gosh, I don't want to just get 10%. Well, hey, 10% is better than zero. And the way that you structure this is that you just basically give the lead over and say, hey, you do it, and then I get paid a referral fee. So you're doing pretty much absolutely nothing on this besides collecting the deal. So you bring a property, the seller, and you haven't even talked to the seller. This is something that you need to know ahead of time. You have not talked to the seller. You just have a hot lead, and this is in a really great area, and you may not have the closing strategies down. You may not be the best negotiator yet, but you have a potential wholesaler that could do all this for you and get all of this taken care of for you. So the wholesaler is going to bring in the buyer. And the thing that you have to understand here is you have not negotiated with the seller. So there's no price that you've negotiated here. The wholesaler will ultimately do this and go ahead and get everything configured and taken care of. And next up, here's the purchase and sales agreement is going to be between the wholesaler and the owner of record. So you see how it's a little bit different than the last one. It's the wholesaler, not you in this particular case. The assignment of contract is also going to be signed between the wholesaler and the ultimate end buyer. The joint venture agreement is still a big thing. If you guys would like our joint venture agreement, we've given it out on the past, but for some of you that are new viewers, new subscribers to the channel, let me know below if you would like to have our joint venture agreement. Make sure to give us a thumbs up if you would like that, and also put a comment below that you would like our joint venture agreement. I'll be more than happy to share that link with you. It's absolutely free. There's no charge, and I'll be more than happy to do that. So the wholesaler would give all of the contracts to the title company, so it's different than the last one. You were doing all that. Now, the wholesaler in this particular case is giving all the contracts to the title company. Both you and the wholesaler get paid at closing. Now, in this particular case, since it's 10%, might be 15%, depending on how you do the negotiation, how you do the splits here with the wholesaler. But I would just go ahead, get the wire sent in. It's no point to go ahead and maybe collect $1,000 or $1,500 check. Maybe it might be more depending on how much that individual is able to bring in on that deal. But lo and behold, I would not drive all the way to the title company, get a check, go all the way to your bank and get a deposit. It's just a complete waste of time. Just have the wire completely taken care of, and you will be set up and you will have your money in your bank account, easily accessible, and then you're good to go. So this strategy right here that we just went over is if you're brand new, you may not have the negotiating skills quite yet, and you may not know what to do or ask questions to the seller, and you don't want to screw up the deal. And that is completely fine. That is completely normal. We've done tons of deals like this with our students that are just like, hey, I'm not sure exactly what to say. Can you guys help me out on this deal? I will pass it off to you guys for a referral fee, and that's not a problem for us. We'll go ahead and do that all day long. Now, the third strategy that we're going to be talking about is a rev share deal. Most individuals don't know about this one, so I'll be more than happy to share this one with you. Make sure you give us a thumbs up if you're liking the information so far. Let's go ahead and jump back in here so you know exactly how to execute the joint venture part 3 here. So this is joint venture and sharing in revenue. So how to share in revenue of the profits. Now you bring a property, you bring the seller on this particular deal, the investor brings the funding. So this might be a wholesale deal, this might be a rehab deal, but the individual's bringing the funding to do this because they see a potential opportunity. And what I mean by that is it's gonna bring in more money if you guys go ahead and do the rehab on this deal. And I'll talk about the different type of splits here in just a moment. Now what happens is you have this deal already negotiated down. Maybe it's negotiated down to a rock bottom price and you have everything completely taken care of. The owner of record's happy with what you presented to him, and you're able to close very quickly by bringing in another individual that has the funding to do the deal. So the purchase and sales agreement is going to be in place between you and the owner of record. Rev share agreement is put in place. So there's a couple different things that you could do this. This is how we've done it. We add an LLC specifically tailored to the subject property. So it might be the property address. So let's just say it's 123 Main Street Property LLC, and it's going to have me and it's going to have the investor that has the funding taken care of on there. Now, what we do when we're setting up the LLC is we put specific language in what's called the operating agreement of the LLC, specifically letting each party know what the splits are going to be. Typically on a terms deal like this, when you're doing a rev share, is going to be 65-35 unless you are going to be doing more than the average individual from just handing off a deal, making sure it closes, and you're sharing in the revenue. One of the things that you could be doing, and we do this a lot, is we have investors that might be in Hawaii and they're investing in the deal here in Indy and they want us to oversee the deal. Sometimes those deals are worked out to where it's 55-45 or 60-40. So it all depends on what you're going to be doing to make sure that that property sells quickly, and you want to be a part of that. Maybe you're bringing in a real estate agent, maybe you're going to be helping out with the open house, maybe you're putting contractors in place. There's a lot of different variables that do go into place, and you need to have that set up front. But this is one of the ways that we do it, by adding an LLC specifically for this property, and then we set up the operating agreement that clearly lays out what the revenue shares are going to be on this deal. Next up is we have the joint venture agreement filled out on top of the operating agreement. I always like making sure that I have the LLC stuff taken care of, and then I have my joint venture agreement completely filled out. Those are two great things that are handy, and they're going to be the same exact documents so that everything is completely tailored just in case somebody freaks out and then you have to take something to an attorney. It's always best to be put in place to have those safeguards in there just in case something happens. You give the contracts to the title company, everything will be taken care of from there. So now in this case, both you and the investor get paid at closing. So depending on what you want to do, if it's a wholesale deal, a rehab deal, and maybe if the investor is like, hey, I really want to keep this property as a rental property, can you do this? Can you do that to the property? And I'll allow you to share in on the revenue for 6 to 12 months of that, and then I'll take you off of the LLC. Maybe you get a piece of the pie every single month. Maybe that individual is going to pull in $1,000 per month, and you're going to receive 20% of that particular deal every single month for 6, 12 months, 24 months, whatever your agreement is going to be put in place with that particular individual. It could be several different outlooks that you could be doing with this individual. This is a great strategy that not a lot of individuals are putting in place, and it allows you just to be able to have another tool that you could be using, another wrinkle that you could get into that not a lot of other individuals have, and you're able to bring up that confidence with other investors so that you could be doing more of these deals. The investors that have the cash, they would love to do these deals all day long, especially in today's market. It is so hot and there's so much cash available out there for doing these types of deals. Hey, if you enjoyed the information that we shared on today's video, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. I would love to smash the YouTube algorithm, get this video out to as many people as possible. And the great thing with these 3 exit strategies that you can use from a joint venturing standpoint is that it doesn't require your own capital. It doesn't require you to dip in and check your own credit any of that type of stuff. It doesn't even matter how much experience you have. You could be doing this all day long. You could be doing these types of deals with us if you want to. We're always looking for deals in several markets across the country. If you would like to be doing something like that, leave us a comment below. Let us know where you're from and let us know what types of deals that you're coming across, and I'll shoot you our email and we could collaborate and maybe do a deal together. Now, one of the things that I would like to bring up, I said this at the beginning of the video and a little bit I sprinkled it throughout, but if you would like to get our subject to agreement, make sure you leave a comment below. I'll share our subject to agreement with you. Just comment below, hey Jason, I would love to have your subject to agreement, and we're gonna be sharing that on Wednesday's video. So stay tuned, make sure you become a subscriber of the channel so that you can get notified, because in Wednesday's video, I'll share the exact link. It'll be right here, and we'll be able to share that with you. You can get that. It's downloaded. No email is required. It's free, no charge to you. All that I ask is that you give us thumbs ups on our videos. Make sure you drop a comment below that you would like that agreement. And then also, if you are not a subscriber already, you're not going to get notified on Wednesday about that video. So make sure you become a subscriber. Thank you so much for being here on today's video. It really means a lot to me. And if you are a subscriber, you guys truly mean the world to our channel and me personally. Love that you're here with us. Love that you're expanding your mind. You're getting the knowledge that you want so that you can see the results in your business. If you have any questions whatsoever, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Just put them below and I'll answer them. I always get back to people relatively pretty quick, and I'll be more than happy to address anything that you need so that you can see the results you want. But other than that, have a great day. Enjoy the week, and I will see you on our Wednesday video. Take care now. Bye.